Hi, everybody, and welcome back to yet another cracking edition of the Matt Brown Show. This is the Secrets of Fail series, where we are talking to entrepreneurs all about their epic business blunders. And with us in the hot seat today is Vikram Chalana. He is the co-founder and CEO of Pictory.ai. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Matt. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, man, it's great to have you here, bud. So let's kick off with the elevator pitch. What exactly are you guys up to there at Pictory?
Yeah, so at Pictory, we're making it easy for anyone to be able to make videos. We use a lot of AI, and we're trying to make the video creation and video processing, video editing process really easy. So anyone should be a video maker. I see this as video as being part of the next generation of communication. So eventually I see like Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and a video maker tool. Hopefully that's will be Pictory on every desktop.
Very cool. So who are your customers? Like anyone really editing video, right?
Yeah, it's really anyone editing videos. We found initial traction in with creators, with a lot of people who are course creators and also marketers. So people in small business marketing trying to create their video stories, maybe on YouTube, maybe on social channels, and I have this concept of high frequency videos. So we've all heard about high production value videos, which take crew and a lot of staff and videographers and stuff. But what people need now is some easy way to create videos every day, perhaps a few times a week for social media channels, for YouTube, and high frequency videos. That's kind of, I want to be associated with that, with Pictory.
Very good, man. Well, congrats, dude. I know my team are sweat bullets when because we produce so much content. It's next level. So we also, as a team, looking at AI editing, plugins for Adobe and whatever else. So yeah, any way to make it faster is definitely of value. So
that's it.
Cool, bad luck. So what is your epic story of fail for our audience around the world today, Vikram?
Yeah, failure. As a serial entrepreneur, you have to learn to embrace failure. But I think there's one story that really sticks with me because I've repeated it a couple of times, which is really bad. But part of the problem is, so you've probably heard the famous Henry Ford saying, if you were to ask your customers about what they wanted, you would have heard faster horses. Nobody would have wanted cars at that time. So I think that's kind of the failure has been always around for me, is how much do you ask customers and how much do you trust your intuition? And I've, in both the times, I've gone wrong in the extreme. In one case, I completely trusted my intuition, built something, spend months building something, and you build it and nobody comes. That was one case. And in the second case, we asked the customer, we built something, and what I learned from that, and actually the customer didn't buy even then. So you ask the customer, you built something, and they didn't buy it then. So I've kind of seen both sides of the failure, and one of them was, in fact, the first version of Pictory itself, and another one was in a previous generation, my previous company.
So what do you subscribe to now then? I mean, is it trust your intuition, or do you engage with customers early and follow like the startup platform development doctrine?
I think it's a tough balance. You have to do both. You have to understand your customers really well so you can live in their head and then build something for them. You cannot ask for too much because then you'd be kind of led down a path that may not align with your vision. So it's a really tough balance but I still think the core is build something, ship it fast, and make it available to the customers, let them try it, and iterate as fast as you can.
Mm-hmm. So Vikram, when you think about those two experiences, what do you now take forward with you in terms of lessons into your business today?
Yeah, that's the lesson now is, if you're trusting your instinct, go with it, but build something fast. Don't waste too much time on it. build something fast, get it out in the market, let the customers give you feedback so you can iterate and learn from it. And if you're going to listen to the customers, again, do the same thing. Just don't spend too much time building something. Build just the minimum viable product, get them to test it, get them give you feedback, iterate. My philosophy now is that great products are never built in the lab. They're always built in the market.
So, Vikram, if you could get into the Map Run Show time machine, and obviously with the luxury of hindsight, go and go back to yourself when you were still in the early days of building Pictory and stuff, and do things differently. What would you do differently, and why?
Yeah, I would take the customer's feedback with a grain of salt. So we built this product, by the way, at a hackathon. We had the idea that, hey, AI could be used for building content, for building videos, for editing videos. So we built this at a hackathon. And while the team was building it, I was calling every marketing person I knew saying, if you had this product, would you use it? And would you buy it? And I was getting an overwhelmingly positive response. And I took that as at face value. And I said, okay, this is it. I'm going to build it and they're going to come. And so this was the case where I listened to the customers and built something, but it wasn't the product that they wanted. So I would have not spent as much time on it. I would have come up with an MVP much faster and iterated much quicker. That's the core learning from both the experiences.
Mm-hmm. What is your advice, Vikram, to other entrepreneurs, founders, and so forth about the importance of failing or failure in becoming successful?
Yes, and I believe it's super important. I think the press makes it feel like things become an overnight success. But the reality is all entrepreneurs fail many times before you get to be successful. And I'm counting myself as a successful entrepreneur. I've done this once successfully, and I'm doing this now, hopefully successfully, but I still feel like the whole journey is going to be full of failures, and you have to embrace it, and you just have to learn to iterate and pivot as quickly as possible.
For sure. Vikram, what about books, tools, and resources that you recommend? What comes to mind for you?
I think you have heard some of these in the terms that I'm using, minimum viable product and so on. The Lean Startup, it's a classic. It may be a 10-year-old now, but the Lean Startup is, and there's a series of books around it by various people. The Lean Methodology, the Lean Startup. Stephen Blank is one of my favorite authors. He's a professor at UC Berkeley, and he talks about this whole customer development process, and so that's the philosophy now I subscribe to, and I think every startup founder, at least in the tech side, should look at that and how they can embrace the Lean Startup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Steve's been on the show I think 3 times now. Yeah, he's a very, very wise guy.
Yes,
and
awesome.
Yeah, it's a very, very strong recommendation if you're trying to build tech products, for sure. Yeah. Well, Vikram, thanks so much, buddy, for being in the hot seat. That does conclude your time on the series. Thank you so much for being here and lending your perspective on the importance of failure in the world of business. Wishing you and the team all the very best of the future.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity here.
You're very welcome, mate. Or you're very welcome. Everybody else, we'll see you again soon. Ciao.